In this video, you've made it to solving rational equations, meaning you made it through rational expressions without too much pain. So, just so you know, rational equations should make you much, much happier than the last topic did. When you're working with equations, the beauty of it is that the first step is to get rid of your denominator. What you want to do is one swift action that will completely eliminate all numbers below a fraction bar. It's what I've found to be, with very few exceptions, the easiest way of doing these things. But the way you do that is to know how to get a common denominator. So hopefully, if rational expressions did get you anything, it's practice at determining a common denominator. So what is your common denominator for this problem? I have m squared in common in all three denominators. I have a 3 here, but I'm missing it here. So my common denominator is 3m squared. And the question I want you to ask yourself is, again, what's missing? And the experiences that you had in the last page should help you know what to do with that. So if I have a 3m to the second here with a 2 on top, 3m to the second here with an m minus 4, I'm going to put that in parentheses just because it's a habit I've created. And I only have an m squared here. What's missing? Well, I'm missing the 3. So I need to put it there. I'm going to multiply the top and bottom by 3. All right, so I handled that. Now, the next part, I don't want this to confuse you. All you are doing is multiplying both sides of the equation by your common denominator. I've determined that that is 3m to the second. I can do anything I want to the two sides of an equation. All right, so let's rewrite some stuff down here at the bottom. Let me get rid of this what's missing. I can get rid of this at this point. You don't need it. What I have is a 3m to the second times 9 over 3m to the second. Now these braces here that I'm putting in, don't worry about those for right now. I'll show you that in a second. I'm going to move this 3m to the second over here to the other side of the grouping symbols. And I have m minus 4 over 3m to the second plus 2 3m to the second. Take a moment and just make sure you understand that this is this. I have the left side of my equation. I have the right side of my equation separated by the equal sign. And all I've done is multiply both sides by my common denominator. Here's what happens. 3m to the second times 9 divided by 3m to the second would be the long way of looking at doing this. Divide first, it's easier. 3m to the second divided by 3m to the second is 1. That cancels. All I'm left with is a 9 on the left side of my equation. Now here I've got a distribution problem going on. I'm going to distribute 3m to the second to both of these terms in grouping symbols, just like they're parentheses. With the same thing I did here, 3m to the second divided by 3m to the second, well, that cancels. I'm not going to mark this one out yet, though, because I haven't finished distributing it yet. It actually happens twice. Just like if I asked you what 2 times x minus 1 is, you would distribute it twice. You wouldn't do it once and get rid of the 2. That's 2x minus 2. So 3m squared, again divided by 3m squared, then cancels them out. So 9 equals m minus 4 plus 2. In one step, I went from this chaos up here to a much simpler problem here. So now we're actually solving an answer. We have a 9 equals m minus 2. I'm going to add 2 to both sides, a simple one-step equation. These will cancel, and I get that m equals 9 plus 2, which is 11. That's my answer. I do want to check up here. I don't really have to worry about it on this problem. But I want to be sure that by putting a value of 11m for m, I don't get 0 in any of my denominators in my original problem. If I do, it's actually an invalid response. We'll talk more about that later. Let's look at a few more. Alright, this one looks trickier, but it's not. What's my common denominator? I have x squareds on all three. I have 3, 2, and a 6. My common denominator is 6. 6 to the second. So what's missing? I only have a 3 here, so I need to multiply the top and bottom by 2. I only have a 2 here, so I need to multiply the top and bottom by 3. And I need to put parentheses right here, which is going to set up the distribution problem, so be careful. Now, I guess for one more I could rewrite everything out. I decide if I want to do that or not. Yeah, I will. I want to multiply by my 6x squared. That was my common denominator I came up with. So I'm going to do 6x squared times the left side. I'm just copying this part right here, right over here. 6x squared times 2 over 6x squared equals 6x squared times, I'm going to make that a little larger. I'm right over here now. 3x plus 9 over 6x squared, when I multiply that out, minus 1 over 6x squared. Okay, that's the last time I'm going to do all that work, because you don't actually have to write this step. Alright, 6x squared cancels with 6x squared. 6x squared distributes to both of these fractions and grouping symbols to cancel these out as well. So all I really needed to write was 2 equals 3x plus 9 minus 1. Now, 9 minus 1 is 8. So if I subtract 8 from both sides, 2 minus 8 is negative 6. It's 3x. So all of that cancels. Negative 6 divided by 3 is negative 2. So x equals negative 2. Now if I go back up here and just double check to make sure I'm not getting a 0 anywhere, that's called checking for a restriction on a variable. I don't have any restrictions of variables. When I have one, I'll point it out. Alright, number 3. What's missing? I'm going to simplify this. The only thing that's missing right here, and I'm missing an n. So I'm going to put a squared right here, meaning there's 2, and I'm going to put an n right here. My next step is simply 4 equals 5n minus 1. Now how is that simple? If you're not sure yet, I want you to spend some more time on those first 2 examples and work through those. But what I'm going to be doing is multiplying this entire thing, both sides, by n to the second power, by using a common denominator. Now to solve this, I add 1 to both sides to get 5 equals 5n. So n equals 1, because when you divide both sides by 5, it's what you get. So you're finished. Do I have a 0 anywhere? No. I'd have 1s in my denominator positions. Quick, easy example if you understand the math behind it. Number 4, what's missing? I have an x, I have an x, I don't have an x here. So I'm missing something right here. The 1 all by itself throws people off. Don't let that happen to you. Just put it over an x. Meaning you have to have an x on top also. What happens to my denominators if I multiply both sides of the equation by x? They go away. I'm going to just mark them out. Now to my simplification step, I have x minus 6 on the left. I'm going to go ahead and combine x plus x is 2x plus 4. If I have an equation with variables on both sides, I'm going to subtract the smaller one here, meaning I'll have x on the right side. I'm going to subtract 4 over here, meaning I'll have negative 10 on my left side. I'm finished. So that's that basic algebra skill coming back. You'll get to practice that a lot more. If you feel like you need more practice, we can go back and revisit that with 1 and 2 step equations and equations with variables on both sides. The last one I want to show you looks scary. It's not. Factor first, or go ahead and write it even though I say it a lot. You will forget at times. So let's factor b squared minus 7b plus 10. It's going to be b times b. I need to get to 7 with addition. I need to get to 10 by multiplication. So I'm going to use 2 and 5. And you notice this is the exact same thing. I don't have to repeat myself. I know what I'm looking for. So I'm ready to answer the question, what's missing? My common denominator will be b minus 2, b minus 5. I have it here. I'm done here and here. So what I'm missing is a b minus 5 on this term. Just that middle one. Now when I multiply both sides by b minus 2, b minus 5, everything goes away. I'm going to have this term equaling this term. That's what the entire top will be. 1 plus b minus 5 equals 2. That's what that entire problem boils down to. Alright, so 1 minus 5 is negative 4. I'm going to add 4 to both sides. That will take care of all of this. B equals 6. And I still don't have a restrictional variable to show you, so excuse me, we'll just save that for another day. Now this one could take a little bit more support. So if you have questions, again, work in groups, rewind, rewatch these videos, find other videos on the same topic using YouTube or TeacherTube. But feel free to ask questions in class when the time comes up. All right, good luck.